a lot of people don't understand carrier diversity, right? So from a broker, we are, to being captive. And I would just, a lot of people go, why don't I go get a job at XYZ company? They sponsor the stadiums. That seems like a great, I'm like, they spend a lot of money to sponsor those stadiums. You know where they come from? Your commissions. Hi, everybody. Grady Polson. Welcome to the America Agency. Hello, everybody. Grady Polson, the America Agency. So excited to have Tanner Mendelsohn on with us today. This young man came up to me at convention and he's like, Grady, I've done this, and this, and it was sold a ton, recruited a ton, done everything I could to build this business. And I was just blown away. I've been following him for a few months on social. If you want to get excited and you want to think you're not working hard enough, follow Tanner on social. But I've talked to Ronnie, I've talked to Zach, some of his team, and they're like, no, Tanner they called him a prodigy as following the right things to do for this business. And I just knew that message needed to get out there. And so I'm so excited to have him on here. I'm going to share a couple of his numbers, but I want him to share more in detail. But Tanner's on track this month to make over $100,000 in overrides. That means he's sold enough insurance, got good enough at it to train enough people that trusted him enough to put himself in a position where they'd want to partner with him while he teaches them. And he makes a little bit off of what they sell, but that's because he knows how to teach them how to do it. And that's the beauty of this business. You get good enough at it, you can teach others how to do it. So Tanner, without further ado, bro, how are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. It's been great.
It.
Appreciate you having me on.
I'm stoked to have you on. So what I want to do, I'm going to chill out for a minute, and I'd love if you just share your story, man. Where you came from, how you found insurance, how you got started. Let us know more about Tanner and who you are, bro.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I'm 21 years old now, but to take you guys back a little bit, back when I was 18, I graduated high school, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. Never got into the colleges I wanted to go to. Ended up going to community college for 2 years. I'm from California, went up to Santa Barbara, 2 hours away from home. And I'll be honest, I was kind of an idiot back then. I went to college. I just wanted to have fun. So I kind of got trapped into the lifestyle of going out all the time, partying all the time. And it ended up really catching up to me. After about 2 years of doing that, I was sick and tired of it, genuinely. And I always knew that I was going to be successful. I just didn't know when it would come. And when I started seeing just a bunch of younger people, even though, I was 19, I just saw a bunch of young people making a ton of money, doing all different types of things. I knew I needed to learn something and figure it out. And it was over Christmas break. I remember it very vividly. I was in my bed back at home, and I saw an ad pop up. And it was get into high ticket sales. You only need to work a couple hours a day. You make 5-10 grand a month. All I needed to see was that. I'm in, bang, let me get started on this. So I bought a $5,000 sales course. And I've always been a believer of investing in myself. So I was never scared to do that. I knew that in order to get to the level I wanted to be at, I would have to, pay to play. So I ended up investing $5,000 into that. That was January of 2023. And it turned out not being exactly how it portrayed. They rented the Lambo and whatnot. That's fine. But I made $1,000 a month for 5 months straight. And most people that, end up spending money and they don't get the result that they're looking for, they whine, cry, and they never try anything again. But I knew that it was going to take time to get to where I wanted to be. So after that, I was I got a little bit of taste of sales. I made $500 one day, I remember, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. If I can figure this out, I can start making a ton of money. And it ended up not being where I wanted to be, but then I found insurance. And my whole goal, to get rich, you need to run a business or get into sales. I understood that. So when I learned about insurance, how it's a sales business, you can build a ton of active income, a ton of passive income. I was like, all right, perfect. I need to figure this out as well. And then I ended up joining another company. Same thing happened with me. Was there for 10 months. I made $300 my first month, $1,000 my second. But what it taught me is that, you can work really, really hard in the wrong system and see no success whatsoever. And then after 10 months, I was sick of it and I needed to make the jump to another company, and thank God I came here because my whole life's changed. And now being here 8 months, like I'm not slowing down. I'm doubling down on everything. And I'm excited to see what we do this year.
I love it, man. One, the insight of you at 19 to invest $5,000 in a sales course is something that I'm sure you look back on as a defining moment, regardless if it was the capital or what you had to do that. When you spend that level of money, you go, I'm going to figure out how to do something. And you made a grand a month for 5 months, but go, maybe this isn't the right vehicle for me. So, but that's a key note, guys, investing in yourself and investing in your business to help evolve you, right? The only place you can guarantee a positive return is in you. So invest as much as you can, going to events, courses, mentorship, etc. But we'll call it the practice company from going forward. Was it some main differentiating factors between your practice company and what you saw here when you were introduced to us? Like, because that's always the thing. People go, it's hard at FFL, and I'm like, no, it's not. It is not hard here. It's hard in here because you're not choosing to make the disciplines to push yourself forward and evolve the skills that you need to be good at this business. The world outside of our world is so hard. Could you give some people some clarity on what it was like? I mean, $300 in your first month. I'm sure you were like, "Hey, Dad, check." No, I'm being facetious here, but tell us about that.
Yeah, no, it was like it's complete opposite. So like the two main things was leads and mentorship. Those were the two things I didn't have. And we work in a lead-based business. If you don't have leads, you can't make money, right? So when I first started, I was getting 5 to 10 leads a week. 5 to 10 a week. You can't make any money running 5 to 10 leads a week. It's impossible. But second off is like they were ran through my managers before I even talked to them. I was never in control of my leads. And when you don't control your business, you're not going to be able to scale anything. But I was super young. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I just gave it time. The second thing is I just didn't have proper mentorship. I was working with people that didn't really understand me. They didn't really see the vision that I had. They wouldn't want to work as much as me. And they never really scaled something to where I can learn from someone. Because I mean, all I've ever done coming here is just learn from people that make money, that have actually done it, and then just implement it. And I never had it there. And then also, like the sales process is just way longer. Like I had to get people on Zoom. I had to bait and switch them. And I just sell them essentially 5 different times. So then switching here, it's like I'm talking about life insurance within 20 seconds. And then, it's a simple process. They want what I'm calling them about. So the leads and the mentorship, it was crazy going from there to here.
I love it. Well, you talk about a lot of people don't understand carrier diversity, right? So from a broker, we are, to being captive. And I would just, a lot of people go, why don't I go get a job at XYZ company? They sponsor the stadiums. That seems like a great, I'm like, they spend a lot of money to sponsor those stadiums. You know where they come from? Your commissions. But would you talk about how, what that's like having product diversity versus where you were before?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, it's super, super important because I know for a fact I'm putting my clients in the best situation possible. When I have one product, one carrier, that's all I have for you. I don't know if I'm actually putting you in the best situation because I only have one product. Like, for example, yesterday, I got a call in yesterday. He just sent in the request. He's like, yeah, I want 20,000 of coverage. They told me it was 192 a month. Is that correct? And then I got him approved for 160, right? But if I only had one carrier, like that's all I can do. So I know for a fact I'm putting everyone in the best situation for their family. Plus, if they got denied, I have multiple carriers. So it's game changing having different carriers, different products, because I know for a fact I put everyone before me, and like they're going to be in the best situation.
I love it.